Hi there, welcome. I'm Laura Hernandez, and this is Company Culture Matters by Nailted. In this episode, we will talk about the power of employee recognition with Sophie Hughes, HR Business Manager at Rentals United.
Giving recognition is more powerful than ever to encourage team members to feel more empowered, to feel more appreciated for the work that they do, which only will encourage them to be more eager in the future to contribute to, company-wide initiatives, team projects, or even cross-department projects as well. It's giving that motivation there.
People love to be recognized for their work, but apparently they aren't recognized enough. A recent Gallup analysis stated that 65% of employees haven't received any kind of recognition in the last year. Employee recognition is the act of acknowledging the hard work and achievements of individuals within a company. And as this Gallup survey demonstrated, money is not the top form of recognition employees prefer. The main core of this episode is employee recognition. This is what we will focus on in Company Culture Matters. With Sophie, we will understand why we should work on employee recognition and the relationship it has with satisfaction at work, productivity, and talent retention. We will also learn how to effectively work on it and how to maintain this habit over time in any company. Sophie Hughes, HR Business Manager at Rentals United. Welcome and thank you for joining us in this conversation.
Thank you, Laura. I'm really happy to form part of this, and especially, speaking about a topic that is very, very important to me too. So I'm very happy to be here.
Sophie, a first and mandatory question for you. Why should we work on employee recognition?
For me, this is, as I mentioned, this is a topic that's really, really important to me. Even amongst friends, it's a funny joke. They say that I'm a natural cheerleader, but without the gymnastics abilities. But, I do find it really important to, encourage people and make sure they're feeling motivated. And I think recognition does really come, forms part of that. It's a huge tool there. But, in all seriousness, I am a really strong believer in giving recognition where it's due. However, I do sometimes believe that the importance of showing gratitude can sometimes be overlooked here. So, we always want some recognition for what we're doing on our day to day, but it's also remembering, how can I show gratitude as well from my part? So this is really interesting, and actually where Nailted has helped us here within our team. So I'll obviously talk about that a bit more. But now more than ever, 2020, this year, has been very strange for everybody. The idea, it's provided a lot of instability for people, both in work and everyday life. Our work life has had to adapt. We're all working remotely, and it has been a challenge for, team members that are not so familiar with the setup. It was something we had in place already before this pandemic, where, once or twice a week you could work from home and have this balance. But, now more than ever, we've had to adapt across our whole company, we're in different we're based both in Barcelona, in Warsaw, and other parts of Spain. We've had to really adapt the way in which we communicate and interact with each other, and it has been a challenge in every part of life, not just in our work life. So we were looking at, especially communication and how we want to make our team, feel still part of this community, and of course recognition, gratitude, and of course work-life balance in that sense are all linked to strengthening that as well, because it's a fact that good vibes in general mixed with recognition in work from our team, from our managers, because it's where we spend most of our time. This good vibes and this recognition, this great feeling we get of serotonin, of someone saying thanks and recognizing what we do, then does transfer into the home. This is a fact before this whole pandemic state. So this more than ever is needed to help create this happier and more peaceful home life, let's say, is working hand in hand.
Sophie, it's been demonstrated that employee recognition is important towards increasing productivity. And there's a stat from a social
Mhm.
class research that, in my opinion, illustrates this fact very well. And it shows that 69% of employees will work harder if they felt their efforts were better appreciated. If they felt their job was recognized, they will feel more satisfied. So I'm wondering, to which extent is employee recognition related to productivity and satisfaction at work?
Um, for sure, I think 100% I agree with this. That productivity and satisfaction work hand in hand in a work environment. A simple "you're doing great" is kind of this more a recognition and more of a supportive sense, which will always just encourage team members to complete their tasks. I mean, on the day to day. So, for example, in a team environment, giving recognition is more powerful than ever to encourage team members to feel more empowered, to feel more appreciated for the work that they do, which only will encourage them to be more eager in the future to contribute to, company-wide initiatives, team projects, or even cross-department projects as well. It's giving that motivation there, especially at Rentals United. We of course we're a SaaS company. Tech, as we know, there's constant changes, updates, and daily developments that occur. So that, recognition in the sense of like a supportive recognition will only motivate employees and team members to be more proactive. We have to look at the idea of this annual review that we would have in place, is kind of the thing of the past, waiting till the end of the year to receive some good news. No, where how the company works, especially in tech and in how fast paced it is, we do also need to adapt how we approach employees in that sense. We need to approach it in a way of, okay, we need these changes. We're moving really fast, but we also need to be on top of, hey, you're doing great. Let's do this together. Let's motivate our team together. Being consistent in that sense as well.
Talking about employee retention, yet
Uh-huh.
32% of companies struggle to retain top talent. Forbes points out that 36% of employees say lack of recognition is the top reason to leave their job. And it's quite fascinating to appreciate that some people leave jobs not because they don't like what they do, but because they feel their work is not being recognized. Sophie, how does employee recognition help towards talent retention?
So employee retention for us at Rentals United, and especially for our HR department, was one of our main OKRs of 2019, of really understanding and investigating different ways in which we can improve employee retention. Of course, we always want to improve it. Whether it was looking at benefits, whether it was looking at different salaries, or what was the main point. And it was amazing to see that actually employee recognition, or or employees feeling and appreciated at work, was almost a top number one. Well, in the States, for example, that was the case, is the top number one for people wanting to leave their jobs. And it's really interesting, and I kind of understand, because more than ever currently, especially the millennial generation are the ones, we are the ones, I form part of it. We are the ones that are holding most of the job positions at the moment. And, we are the generation that, let's call it a struggle, let's be real about it, and call it a struggle in, searching for our purpose. So it's kind of, you look at, even if you compare recruitment statistics over the past decade, it's amazing to see the difference where it's so much less likely now to see an employee with a 10-year service to their previous company on their curriculum. We're always looking to move, we're looking to see what is the right job for me, what fits me, and finding that purpose. So feeling appreciated in the tasks, projects, or involvement in general, will only provide individuals, so our employees, with a sense of belonging, with giving that recognition in that sense, and it will not only letting them feel, recognized and appreciated for what they do, but it's also giving them this connection and, of course, and all around that feeling of purpose in the day to day in the job. So, we look at, if your work is appreciated, you therefore feel more motivated, plus you see more opportunities, and therefore you want to grow inside the company. So then, that's where we see numbers of retention going higher. We look at our employees that are involved in more projects, they're very proactive. These are the ones that have been with us longer. So it's kind of motivation for our team members to grow. It's just like it's creating that ecosystem that's only going to keep the ball rolling for, not only for company growth, but also for individual growth as well. It's all very connected.
As you pointed out in your speech, Sophie, employee recognition helps to retain talent, but it is also a great way to enhance employee manager relationships.
Mhm.
50% of employees believe that being recognized by their managers improves the relationship between them. However, the Society for Human Resources Management stated that peer to peer recognition is a more authentic approach because it not only motivates employees, but it also builds a culture of support, collaboration, and achievement. Sophie, how could we work on employee recognition and motivate our employees to recognize each other's work?
Funnily enough, I couldn't agree more with the Society for Human Resource Management when it comes down to peer to peer recognition being extremely important. And if more so, almost more important than managerial recognition when it comes down to building culture, building support, building that team environment. And actually, this is where Nailted has really come in and helped us. In an internal communication, not only in internal communication across the whole team when encouraging recognition, but also my favorite is showing gratitude, right? Um, as I mentioned, I really believe that giving recognition is not all on the shoulders of the manager or management. But of course, constructive feedback is extremely important from the manager. Highlighting team members in our monthly company meeting is extremely important and a great source of recognition for individuals. However, in our day-to-day, we're not just working to provide results for our manager directly. We're working within a team. So, if someone, regardless of their position in the company, helps you out, shares ideas, is genuinely kind and uplifting in the team atmosphere across the whole company. These are exactly the people that you want to hear from and give thanks to. So, it's this idea again, it's this idea of having a healthy recognition ecosystem within the team. And obviously, this provides all round appreciation. So it's extremely powerful for team culture and community. So, for us at Rentals United, Nailted's tool on the platform of sending the claps has been amazing. I mean, it's so simple. Basically, it's giving that simple reminder to reach out to your teammates on a weekly basis. You may not need to do it every day, but it's giving that highlighted reminder of, hey, reach out. And it also gives the tool of sending the claps also gives the opportunity to our team members that are not so outspoken. So they might be a bit shy, maybe they don't want to, they would never gone up to a person in person, a team member in person, to say, this is great. So, it's giving them the opportunity as well to share their feelings and give their thanks. So, as human beings, as much as some people say that they don't love receiving recognition, I think we all, it obviously creates really good feelings inside when we receive recognition, but more importantly, and regarding gratitude, is that showing gratitude enhances empathy, increases mental strength, it improves self-esteem, it improves psychological and physical health, and the list goes on there. So this tool on Nailted has been definitely a winner for me, because it goes both ways, where it's really encouraging, showing recognition, and also showing gratitude as well to within our team. So, who would turn down feeling awesome, right? So it's on both sides.
I believe that to create and maintain a community of employees who support and recognize each other's work, timing as well as other organizational aspects must be taken into account. Sophie, will you give us any guidelines to maintain and improve this habit over time?
For example, at Rentals United, even a few months ago, we had a pretty average score for recognition across the whole company. Um, and using Nailted and using the platform and being able to look even deeper into the metric itself, we saw that frequency of recognition was a point that was highlighted. So, personally, I don't believe that we should overdo highlighting and highlighting every single task completed, because I don't think it would be so productive. A simple thumbs up, when projects and tasks are going to plan is great. Just keep going, you can do it. It's kind of this thought of, imagine every single time a sale has been made in our sales team and there's like a mariachi band playing, how quickly that would become, it'd be too much. It'd probably become quite annoying, and it wouldn't be seen as a real statement of recognition. So, however, we do, and we have been working on different ways in which employees can shine, in their work, in their own way, and celebrate together regarding, timing, frequency of how recognition is given, and also using it in a different way. So we've put some projects in place. So, for example, from our HR department, we send out a tri-weekly Are You and You newsletter. So it's purely focused on community and culture. So this is where obviously we introduce new employees, but we do it with funny games to encourage interaction with other team members. We have our recommended by segment, so for music, movies, trips and books. So this is a great opportunity for team members to connect as well and say, great, I love that movie, thanks for sharing. It's giving this kind of idea of recognition on a social interaction level as well, which is really nice. And of course, we have finally in our newsletter, we have our Who's Who of Our You segment. So this is actually an interview. It's a really informal, funny interview, a really nice vibe, with a team member every month. So, they get to share a little bit more about themselves, their interests, maybe a funny story. And then, of course, they share a little bit about their RU history. So, who they work most closely with, what projects they've worked on in the past, who they've worked with. It's allowing, it's allowing these employees to actually give thanks, but in a different kind of way as well. It's giving them a little bit of a spotlight, but then again, encouraging them to show gratitude to their direct workmates. So, it's providing that all-round opportunity for our team and our community to grow even stronger together. And then we also have put in place with our marketing team, they've actually just launched this idea of, it's almost as if it's the face behind the email. So it's spotlighting colleagues as ambassadors, of Rentals United, where we are publishing them on LinkedIn. So it's not only to share team members internally, which is obviously very, very important, but we also want to show from the company, show who our employees are, and show our clients who's behind the scenes doing such a great job and providing fantastic service, especially more than ever during these tough times as well.
I can see there are great ideas coming up from the HR department at Rentals United. So, Sophie, would you give us any conclusive advice or tip to take the most out of the power of employee recognition?
Again, I think looking at our current situation of working remotely and, that possible feeling of, being a bit more invisible to some degree, because we're not physically at the office and, where it's easy to be reminded of, who sits opposite me, who's doing what project, who's doing this, who's doing that. And it's easy to just say, oh, hey, yeah, I heard you're doing that. Great job. Because we're not physically there and we're not having these inputs, it is difficult, I think, for those interactions and those, just that sharing of gratitude and showing that recognition is quite difficult. So what we really want to do, of course, is to make these interactions and behaviors and continue that we did have in the office beforehand, online. And this is something we were working from directly in the moment, as soon as we got put into lockdown here in Barcelona. And we realized we learned something we learned something very strongly from this, which was because we do have teams separated in Barcelona, in Warsaw, in different parts of Spain, in the UK, in the US. And we realized, whoa, we really we're kind of grateful that we were put into the situation to try and create this environment for our Barcelona team, because it's only spread across all of our company, which is amazing. So, for example, we're now working on unique structures for each team when it comes down to recognition and interaction on that as well. So, for example, with our sales team, we have that instant message from our CRM system to our internal communication platform, our Slack channel. This highlighting a sale that's been done. So this is not only bringing transparency to the sales being made, but it's also allowing the team from every single department to congratulate our team members. So, great job, you're doing well, whether it's responding with an emoji or in a thread or sending a funny GIF. It's kind of bringing light to these mini celebrations that we have. And I think they're really, really important for the culture and the community of everybody coming together. Of course, not all teams work this way, with quick turnovers on projects but what we are planning to do is to work individually with each team to brainstorm ideas and, get them involved in sharing how they would like to be recognized. I think this is really important as well, because for one person, putting a big banner, well done, is amazing. And for some others, it would be the most embarrassing thing ever. So it's really understanding on an individual level as well, how team members would like to be recognized. That's what we're working on at the moment.
Sophie Hughes, HR business partner at Rentals United, thank you so much for discussing with us the benefits and impact of employee recognition at work.
Thank you so much, Laura. It's been a pleasure.
And that's a wrap for this episode on employee recognition of Company Culture Matters by Nailted. Special thanks to Sophie Hughes for joining us and sharing her best practices. If you want to know more about her, you can connect with her in LinkedIn. Also, if you want to keep learning from experts on topics regarding company culture, check them out in nailted.com/podcast. Rentals United uses Nailted to develop and maintain their culture of employee recognition. Nailted is the employee engagement platform for people and HR teams who want to deliver the best employee experience. If you want to know how Nailted can help your company improve the company culture, check out nailted.com. I'm Laura Hernandez, your host at Company Culture Matters by Nailted.